Alright, so I haven't done a in-depth video on how the sifter's been working. It's been up and running for about 9 months now, and we've done a few tweaks to it to make it work more optimally, but for the most part it's been running fantastically. And I get probably about 80 pounds of frass sifted a week if I do this every week, every Tuesday. So basically it's a real simple concept. It's a sled type sifter, vibrating sifter. So it has a Sawzall is the motor that runs back and forth, shifting everything. Then we have 2 grades that we're sifting here. So the first stage is a small, fine pet screen. So the real fine material, frass, falls down through. And we have that falling into a tub down here. That gets sifted onto this side then, which is a coarser 1/4-inch screen that we have doubled up. A lot of coarser debris falls through that, also some larvae, but you know, I went some loose on. And then at the end, it all drops off. Most of just larvae fall into the bin at the end. So simple concept. It really speeds up a process that was taking a whole lot longer. I think it was taking almost 10 minutes a bin, just doing the panning for gold motion. This speeds it up quite a bit, and I would say 4 to 5 minutes per bin, which, you know, you have 50 bins, it's still kind of an investment in time. But it cuts the time in half, and that's the value there. So some of the upgrades. So initially we had the saw attached to the board here with zip ties, which worked until it stopped working, and that's when we had something finally break on it, and that's why we have these metal reinforcements here. I was cranking the zip ties a little too tight, so put too much stress on this board here, and then we had this crack and break, and this one was cracked pretty good too. So we got that fixed up, and then upgraded the zip ties to this nylon, really tough nylon cord, and that's screwed down here. It's been working really well. I think it runs a little bit quieter now too. And then for the trigger, part of I would say finessing every sifting session was getting the zip tie just perfectly on the trigger. On a warm day it would get loose, I'd have to tighten it. On a cold day it'd shrink, I'd have to loosen it because it would just go way too fast. So upgraded the zip tie with this metal bracket here. So, and that can be dialed in much better with a bit, the little thing, whatever. So that's kind of how it's been put together. As far as repurposed, there's not a whole lot here that was repurposed. Maybe some plywood. The wheels that it sits on are old baby carriage, so that works nicely to move it in and out, clean under it. Probably the 1/4-inch mesh was repurposed, but everything else was engineered by my dad. Built pretty sturdily since it's been working. It's got several hours in it by now, so it's one of my favorite things to run. Just seeing all the debris falling off and accumulating at the end of the day, really satisfying. So I have all of these full of frass. Some of them I'm kind of shifting in and out to get those dried and sold for sale. So yeah, there's that. here we have the first screen material. So this is the fluffy stuff, the fine stuff. Almost powdery, not quite. It needs to dry a little bit yet. It's still a little damp. Won't be great for immediate use yet. But then we'll come over here. And this is the coarse stuff. So this is the stuff that there's really no market for. I throw it into the compost pile and it all breaks down really quickly. Helps inoculate the compost pile, so that's it's a nice benefit. And then Polly coming in, checking things out. Hi Polly. Bye Polly. Good talk. And then here you can see some of the stuff that the chitin. So every time the larvae go through an instar, they slough off their skin essentially, and that's what this is. So this is the protein. It's the makes up the exoskeleton of lobsters, crabs, insects, and that's the good stuff that when the plant's detected, they ramp up their defenses and try to become a stronger plant. So we have chunky stuff, a lot of eggshells in here too, a few larvae, but you know, no big deal. And then the fine fluffy stuff.